In today's video, we're going to be covering episode number 3 of turning $10,000 all the way to $1 million, all documented on YouTube. In episode 1, we turned the account from $10,000 all the way to $50,000 in the span of 3 months. In episode 2, we took the account to a high of $110,000 and brought it back down all the way to $20,000. And in episode 3, we've had the craziest swing, better than the 10K to 50K in 3 months, and obviously a bigger swing in the right direction than the 110 to 20K in episode 2. In this video, I'm going to be touching base on two major trades that turned the whole account back to the highs, and we even broke out to major highs on the account, bringing it to a number that I was eyeing in mid 2025, so a year and a half out, and we ended up crushing it within less than 1 year. So I give myself a tap on the back. We crushed it on this challenge. The job's not done, but I'll be going through the trading log shortly. There's a lot to be learned in this video. If you guys want to follow alongside like-minded individuals, join the Discord in the link in the description below. It's free, you lose nothing, you can learn yourself, and you can ask me any questions that you want. I'm always active in the chat alongside hundreds of other people. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So here's the trading log for chapter number 3. I wanted to tackle two major trades that changed the course of the whole account, brought it from the trenches all the way back to highs and even further. As you guys can see here, we only took a total of 6 trades after liquidating the account. The first major one was Tesla, only lasting 2 days and doubling the account after going all in. After that trade, I went all in again into Coinbase calls, anticipating the Bitcoin breakout. I'll show you guys the setup shortly. That was the thesis there. So I liquidated the whole account. I had $23,000 left in the account. I went all into Tesla. In the span of 2 days, basically doubled my position, took everything out, and went all in to Coinbase with the thought of compounding the gains and closing the account at a yearly high, and I would not take further trades for the rest of the year. Now, that was the plan at the time. You guys will see later on. We ended up adding a lot of trades because the market was heating up, and there will actually be an episode 4 likely before the end of the year. So these two all-in plays bring the account from $23,000 all the way to $240,000 Canadian, crushing my yearly target, crushing my own expectations. This trade returned us a 6x on investment in the span of 2 months, and actually most of these gains came in the span of 1 week after Trump won the presidency. We also had a small position in SQ, basically anticipating a stage 1 breakout and thinking it would follow Bitcoin breaking out. Same thing with Mara. Mara, we're still holding that trade. SQ, I was anticipating the stage 1 breakout and Bitcoin breaking out, but I ended up liquidating the position after it tanked on earnings. Obviously, I was wrong on that. Ended up taking another position later on. MU was a swing for earnings. It 2x'd overnight, and I ended up selling that position off a double bottom. Small position. RK, super tiny position. It was literally the remaining cash in my account. As you guys can see, $200 USD, anticipating a stage 1 breakout on growth stocks. Trump likely winning the presidency alongside monetary policy easing, cutting rates, liquidity coming into the market. I thought if Bitcoin would break out, RK would break out with it. And so that trade was a banger as well. Now, we closed this episode at $242,000 on the account. So the account swung from 10K to a high of 110K. Afterwards, 110K back to 20K in the span of 2 weeks. And after liquidating the whole account, doubling that 20K back to 40K in the span of 2 days. And then in the following 8 weeks, turning that 40K to 240K, closing the account and this episode at a major high and basically one fourth to our $1 million goal. I learned to size up in conviction plays, take a long way out, and let your thesis play out. This position was very risky, but I had a lot of confidence in the setup and I needed to turn the account around, so I had to take a big risk. Afterwards, we took it very chill and just sat in positions. So the first setup over here was actually in September. So September 4th, we entered right here at the open. What I saw is basically Tesla, the market was tanking and Tesla had relative strength. So I saw this breakout. You can play it like this, or you can try it like this. Basically, retested breakout. So we entered over here at the open. You could draw an inverse head and shoulders here, with this being the right shoulder, and my anticipation was a breakout over here to gap fill. Now, I was very conservative with my play, and I just wanted to play the run up all the way to the neckline over here. So I looked at the options calculator and it said that my position would 2x. It ended up happening much quicker than I thought. As you guys can see, the following day candle literally rugged the whole position back to zero. So this was a major play. Tesla has never disappointed me. I think I'm like 5 for 5 on huge swings on Tesla in my lifetime. I'm talking about like 5, 10K plus positions. Tesla follows technical analysis very well. It had decent flow. The market was mixed, but Tesla was riding pretty well. And so that was the trade on Tesla. Now, I want to talk about Coinbase over here. So we entered around here on the 160 retest. That's a major pivot for Coinbase. I entered all in here and I chilled in my position. Afterwards, it cut through that, but no further selling. It actually reclaimed that position and never lost it again. So I knew my zone over here was very important and a decisive zone. So I ended up seeing this, broke down, and now we have an inverse head and shoulders on the daily. So my position remained flat and did not move for a while. It ended up going over here. I think I was up 2x, but I held the position. Went back down to break even, and I think even a little red. Rolled it back up over here. I was up 2.5x, I believe, or 3x even. Went back down to almost break even. Then the final major pump, and this was the move I wanted to catch. Now, my initial target was to cash out over here at 250. My thought, this was drawn on the weekly. This is a weekly trend line that I drew. So at the time, I believe MSTR was flying like crazy and Coinbase had a lot of catching up to do. So I positioned over here. My target was 250. I was going to cash out over here on this trend line. Over here at 250, 260. Cash out the position. It would have been, I believe, a 3 or 4x. Done deal, right? But Trump won the presidency over here. It gapped up. We had a major island bottom over here. Island bottoms can lead to a huge trend for many weeks, even months. So I ended up luckily cashing out my position literally at the top over here. I believe in the middle of the day, so at around like 310 was a huge winner for me. Literally turning the whole account and giving me my first $100,000 day on this major gap up over here. You guys can see that in one of my previous videos. So this setup broke out. It's flagging over here and will likely continue going up. I have a small position in calls and Connell shares. You guys will be able to see it in the next video, but this is probably going to all-time highs. So I was very confident in that setup because one, Trump winning the presidency is very pro-crypto, and that was who I was banking on winning. Coinbase was lagging hard. Coinbase is the main custodian for BlackRock and probably will be for the US if they want to invest into it. My thesis played out 10 out of 10. I know Trump is supposed to talk with Brian Armstrong in the coming weeks, so Coinbase will be a huge stock during Trump's presidency. And so the trend was changing here in July and August. So we had the final flush out in this major bull flag, and we finally had higher highs and higher lows on the daily time frame. And once we broke out, We retested the breakout, went back to the highs, so all-time highs, rejected there, retested the breakout again, and we never looked back. Look at Bitcoin and Coinbase, all crypto stocks went crazy with the setup. Literally to the T, everything was calculated, perfectly hit. I've been eyeing this setup and I've been wanting to catch it for months now. You guys know from the previous video, we basically lost everything on this flush out over here, anticipating a Bitcoin breakout over here. I got caught off guard. That was my fault. A huge lesson learned. I learned to not have a bias in the market. But we finally had the huge payday I've been looking for on Coinbase and Bitcoin. This major breakout paid very well and changed the course of my whole account as well as the situation in my life. I've studied these setups tens of thousands of times, and for me to hit as big as I did, it was a huge relief for me. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave it in the comment section below. If you guys want to join the Discord with all these alerts, it's free in the description below. Episode 4 coming soon. If you guys thought this video was crazy, turning 20k to 250k almost, the next video has a lot of bangers and we're almost at the $500,000 mark. It's going to be crazy. You guys do not want to miss it. And I'm super proud. You guys will not want to miss it. As always, hope you guys are learning anything from these videos. This is all meant to document on YouTube and for you guys to learn as well. Make sure you tune in to episode 4. I'll see you guys then. Peace.